Hi, I'm Robert Mitchell. Welcome to Cork Meets Fork, match number 11, where we're matching Big Reds, and both Reds are from California, two different spots in California, with a Tuscan steak. And this is a Tuscan New York sirloin that we're actually grilling, topping off with truffle oil, a little bit of fresh shaved Parmesan cheese, a little bit of lemon, homemade balsamic, which you're going to learn how to make, a little vinegar, and just a fun, easy recipe. So watch this because it's just very, very simple and easy to make. I also want to thank all of those that did some online purchases with Cork Meets Fork before Thanksgiving. Thank you very, very much. That was very nice. We appreciate that. And now we've got our big Christmas push and our 12 wines of Christmas. And you won't be able to make this out, but we provide a sheet with each wine. We've got 12 different wines with a description and what the food matches should be with those wines. And today we have two of those, two of the bigger reds. And through the course of this month, we're going to go through most of the wines on this sheet here. But if you stop into Sazy Bee or into Grapes to Glass up in Sturtevant, you can purchase these 12 Wines of Christmas boxes. And I believe they're going to be putting something together too at Fox River Spirits in Wilmont, the same box. But you can also order this online for $151, and it's really, really an affordable box of wine. You get 12 different wines, you get the descriptions of the wines, you can ship them to relatives across the country, and shipping will be on top of that, which is $25 to ship the box, but a great, great little value, and we're going to taste two of those wines today. A couple of events coming up. We're going to be doing a tasting on September 11th at Sazy Bee. We're going to be tasting some of the wines in the box. We're doing a tasting at Grapes to Glass on the 18th of December, and we're going to also be tasting some of the 12 Wines of Christmas. And then this Saturday coming up on the 4th, we have a chocolate and wine dinner, 5 courses. This is at the Coffee Pot in downtown Kenosha. Join us for that. We still have some spots open. If you're getting this on Thursday, you've got to book it pretty quickly, but we'd love to see you there for that dinner. Now to the wines today. Sonoma Valley, Sonoma County, Sonoma Valley. You have wines that are going to be a little bit leaner, not quite as big as those Cabs and Merlots from Napa Valley. It's a little bit closer to the coast, so you're getting that cool breeze that kind of cools the wines off a little bit. And here we have one from the Guardian from Sonoma that just is a more European-styled Cab. Great, great food wine, because it does have the tannins and just has that nice puckerability, but also with that great blackberry fruit right in the middle of your tongue. And the nose just jumps out. I mean, it's almost like you're sniffing a Bordeaux when you smell this wine. Really perfectly well balanced. You do get that fruit, you get that acid at the end. The oak is way back in the background, so you're not really getting the effects of the oak as far as flavor goes, but you're certainly seeing how the oak is kind of mellowing the tannins a little bit of the grapes in the wine, and you're not getting the tannins from the oak that dominate that. But just a really nice kind of a lighter Cab if you don't like those big over-the-top Cabs. And if you want something over the top, we've got a wine for you here. This wine is from Seneca Valley. Seneca Valley, just 25 miles east of Monterey in the central coast of California, right on the edge of the mountains there, where you have a little bit of the heat, that reflection coming off the mountains, real rocky soil. And here you've got Cabernet Franc from DeRose. And Alfonso DeRose is the winemaker, part of the family, and loves making these real rich, big wines. And here you're actually going to get the effects of the oak barrels. He's aging in French and American oak, but the American oak, you're really getting that vanilla edge on this wine. And super, super jammy. Just whopper, silky smooth. This is Cabernet Franc on steroids here. Fantastic wine. Both in the 12 Wines of Christmas box. You can buy them individually online as well. but we'd love to have you pick up that box if that's possible. But now let's try that food match and see what both of these wines taste like with this Tuscan steak. All right, here's the presentation. Once again, the good part of the whole experience. Here we have the melted and shaved ribbons of the Parmesan. You can see the little balsamic kind of glistening through there. There is truffle oil, and I can smell that earthy truffle oil. These beautiful yellow tomatoes that have the little herbs on there and a little bit of oil and vinegar, and then the greens underneath. And watch when we cut into this steak, you're going to see how the juices just kind of flow. That's a perfect medium rare. But the juices will flow into the greens and become the dressing on the greens. Just a lot of flavor. Normally you order a steak, you taste the meat, but you don't get these extra components. First we'll try it with the Guardian Cab. All the dryness of the Cab just disappears with that little salty, truffle-y flavor. Now we'll try this with the Cabernet Franc. It just coats the mouth. I mean, this wine just really coats the mouth. Another fun little match. I have to try one of these tomatoes. Sweet and perfect. Great healthy dish though, and super easy to make. It doesn't take long at all, something you can whip up instantly. Lots of flavor, you're skipping the starch, so this time of year you want to watch your waistline a little bit. I certainly do, but very easy. Thanks for joining us. Match number 11, Cork Meets Fork. Join us next week. We're going to taste a couple more wines in the 12 Wines of Christmas box, and we'll also have something fun to do for the holidays. Thank you. Hi there, the cooking portion of Cork Meets Fork, match number 11, and this Tuscan steak. Different ways that we've seen Tuscan steaks. Basically, it can be an herbed steak grilled, and you get that nice char, and you're always going to see a fattier meat, like a New York sirloin, or something that's got that flavor, that full fat, fleshy flavor that always makes the steaks taste so good. A filet is usually not something you're going to see in a Tuscan steak. And what we've got here today is a New York sirloin. And we had this cut extra thick. You can see the thickness factor of that New Yorker. And it's been salt and peppered, big coarse ground pepper, and a little bit of olive oil. And the olive oil is going to break down some of the fat tissue, and it's also going to get that grill all flamed up, which will be perfect. And then we have some mixed greens, which we're going to leave undressed, and that's going to go down on the plate, and the sirloin is going to go over the top of that. We've also chopped up some really beautiful orange tomatoes, and we've added a little bit of sweet red onion to that, a little bit of our homemade vinegar that we're going to show you how to do that, and a little bit of olive oil there too, with some fresh herbs. We have a little bit of sage, and we also have some chopped up rosemary in that. And then we're going to finish off this steak at the end with some sliced ribbons of Parmesan cheese, a nice hard, firm, nutty Parmesan cheese. A little bit of lemon and truffle oil will be the final touch to that dish. But back to the vinegar. I often have extra bottles of wine kicking around the house. I get down to about this much left in a bottle, and rather than just tossing it out, I decided I'm going to make this wine useful. So I've decided to make my own vinegar. And what you want to do is you want to start with a kind of a ceramic or a pickling kind of a contraption, a pickling jug, and that's a great way to start. Cheesecloth over the top is the best way to do it once you've got the vinegar going. But there's two ways you can start. You can either take some purchased vinegar, red wine vinegar is preferable, and you want to add enough to the container so it's about 1.5 inches to 2 inches deep. Let that sit for about 2 weeks, and it's going to dry up, it's going to evaporate, and now you form the base. Then you just take your old wine bottles and pour that in there, and it needs about 3 to 4 weeks before it actually comes to fruition and becomes this just beautiful, thick, rich, and sweet vinegar. And this is the result. If you can see that in there, how thick that becomes,
you end up losing about 3/4 of the mass through evaporation, but it just becomes thick and very, very sweet. But we're going to take you to the grill now and show you how to make this Tuscan steak. Now, while the steak is cooking, look at that beautiful little sear we've got going there. And the flames are coming up. I'm actually going to hit that top side with a little more olive oil to get some more flames going. All right, we just flipped the steak. We're going to cook this for probably another 3 minutes and have it nice and rare, but that's real high heat. But we can start actually plating this dish. We've got these washed mixed greens, a little bit of arugula, red leaf lettuce, and that's going to go right in the center back side of the plate. And there's no dressing on there at all because the juices from the steak, the lemon, the truffle oil, the balsamic are going to be what is going to dress that steak. All right, the steak, you want to have this rest for about 15-20 minutes. Let's pretend that happened. See, we have it over the mixed greens right there. Very, very healthy. There's not anything starchy on this plate whatsoever. And now we're going to hit it with a little bit of lemon. This lemon just really freshens it up quite a bit. And then the drippings come down and form this great little dressing for the greens. We're going to hit it with a little bit of truffle oil. This is a very convenient little spray bottle of truffle oil where you're really not wasting much of it, but you get that nice earthy petrol truffle kind of a flavor. We're going to hit it with just a little bit of drizzle of this real thick homemade vinegar. And then the best part is this shaved ribbons of Parmesan cheese. That's just right on top of that steak. And then we also have now our tomato red onion concoction. And that can go right over the top and in the corner there. Absolutely beautiful dish. And you saw me bite into that before, and it just really is as good as it looks.